Carl, welcome to this week's edition of In the Dugout. We'll start off with your fresh fade and then talking about the coaches' meeting that took place on Tuesday of this week. How did that go, and some positive signs from it?
Do you like haircut?
It's good. It's nice.
It's like yours, isn't it? I got it. I copied, told him, and took a photo of you, and I still did the same. What was the question, mate?
How was the coaches' meeting on Tuesday? You get a good view of that.
It was real good. Richard put across, what he wants from everyone and what he needs, and it was a real detailed, thorough, well-planned meeting. I thought it was one of the best we've had, and it's hopefully that'll lead on to the boys in the training. He's explained to the other coaching staffs what he needs and what he expects from them at training, and what he expects from the players at training, and we covered everything really. We're looking at a little pre-season camp for them and that sort of stuff. So I thought it was really well worthwhile, and we'd like to thank the Crown Hotel for hosting us up there as well. Thanks to Craig Dowie and the team there, they really looked after us.
And how important is it that all the coaches involved know their role, know what's expected of them for next season as well?
Yeah, good, and he had some detail for them on that of the sessions and what he wants Pete to do, what he wants Lovey to do, and what he wants Pete Bell to do. So it was good. Brian, he's involved with the sessions, so well worth the meeting, and it was If the attention to detail through the training sessions is going to be like that, then we'll hopefully they'll hit the ground and they'll be really fit at the start.
Yeah, because the preparation now could be key once the season starts, couldn't it? Once the season starts and you're getting games thick and fast, all the coaches know what they're doing, know what's going to happen if each different scenario occurs.
Well, a big one is he's got them in nearly a month earlier than we normally start, around the first week in December. They're in on Monday. So that's a big part of his preparation on what he wants to do early doors, and then it'll lead into other stuff. So we'll see how we go from there, and then we'll just put it down there, Cole. Thanks, mate. That's just another delivery for me, Kingston Press, I think, or something like that.
As you say, pre-season starts next week. The players back in training very early this year. It's going to at the Doncaster Knights ground, isn't it, for the first couple of weeks, and then training as normal on Saturdays as well. Yeah, we're booked 10 weeks up there, Monday, Wednesdays, and then Saturday morning, real early start at Cantley Park. So they'll be doing 3 sessions a week, and right leading up to when we start, and then they'll probably change back to their normal format. And it gets the players together early as well, doesn't it? Is that the most important thing, that even the new signings and the lads coming in can get to know each other as well?
That's it, and also that's the reason we're looking at this probably 2-day camp. We can get them on so they can set their goals and they have their team meetings, and it's more of an activity camp than a training camp. And then on the last day they set their goals, and we will have probably have a barbecue in the freezing cold and stuff like that, and get them ready for the start of the season.
Yeah, because although it's important for the players to know what they can do on the field, off the field personalities need to link in as well, don't they? And the team needs to get on and have good sort of morale between them all.
Yeah, Richard's got all their playbooks ready for them for when they come in. We would have had our kit for them all if we stuck to the normal structure, but the boss wants to get them in early, so unfortunately they won't have their training kit from day dot, but that was one of the big things I tried to organise for this year, and we were to know that he wants them in a month earlier, which I'm more than happy for them to come in. And thanks to the Knights, Clive Griffiths has sorted that up there for us, so we'll have last year we lacked some light in the pre-season, and we had plans to put some lighting down at Cantley, and that's not materialised at the moment. So we've looked for an alternative venue, and Clive's let us use the Donny Knights areas that he uses on an evening. So we're grateful to them. I'm sure we'll get all our work done and what we need to do, and their gym up there as well has got a lot of heavy stuff that we need to use. The Cantley stuff is probably in-season stuff, and the night stuff is a lot more the heavy stuff what you got to do in the pre-season.
Is that another sign then of us wanting to be a professional team as well? The manner in which we're doing things, we're coming back a month early so that we're prepared to take the season by storm and get a good start early on. Is that just more things being put into place to make us look at a professional team as well?
It's just more time with them, really. You know, when you think he only gets, 3 times a week with them, and if you come to December, it looks like the season is starting in February, so it's just a lot more time with the players, and he's got a lot to, the way he's planning it, there's a lot for them to do, and they're in blocks, so it might be 8 weeks of doing some heavy stuff. This is just examples, and then outside for some shorter stuff, and then it might reverse around, long stuff outside and shorter stuff in the gym. But they're all in blocks, and they'll lead up to getting them the peak fitness to hopefully the end of the season.
Oxford and Gloucester have formed as a Bristol team. It's been announced today. What do you make to that decision?
Yeah, they won't be playing till 2019, so it's been announced today there'll be home and away fixtures of 14 teams, which it's a lot fairer, I think, and then end of the season, first past the post is up, and then 2 will play 3, 2 plays 5, 3 plays 4, final done. So at the end of the season, we'll know all our games from the first day, when the fixtures come out, and then the top 5 will go into a playoff, or 1 goes up, and like I said, that's the playoff system. So there'll be no 8s in League One. It's how it used to be. It's probably what everyone knows, and Oxford and Gloucester looking to come back in 2019, along with New York, and all those other teams who want to come in. So be interesting to see what the structure is in 19.
Do you think that the fact that we're going to be playing teams home and away makes it a little bit more fair next season as well? The fact that we're not going up, say, to Barrow, we won't go to Barrow anyway with their promotion, but going up to the likes of Whitehaven and Workington, they're not necessarily coming down to us as well.
Well, that's what everyone's been saying. Yeah, of course it does. It does make it fair. We had a couple of trips up to Cumbria last year, and they're tough gigs, but you normally, when you go up there, if you lose the points, you try and get them back when you play them at home. So it's probably it makes it a more even contest. And if, for instance, you go and play Bradford and Whitehaven and Workington away, and you didn't get them at home, then there's potential 3 games you could lose there and not get a chance to get them back at your home ground. So yes, everyone thinks it's fair. It's good. I think we'll take it. So it's going to be an interesting old season in the League One. And one thing it does tell you, you've got to be consistently good, because you're not going to have many off days, and they're not going to have many easy games, because even travelling away to the other clubs is always tough.
On the subject of home games then, Challenge 1000 continues to become a big thing between Dons fans, doesn't it? We're selling well season ticket wise, and we're really catching the imagination of people in the local area. It seems as though a lot of people are talking about what the Dons are doing this year.
Oh, the first week we've almost, we're not far off doing our full allocation of season tickets, what we've done last year, regardless of the price. So, I'm led to believe there's a lot of regular fans who haven't even brought them. So we're doing all right. It's we've got till December the 25th. We've got some road shows to do with the Bentley, the Toll Bar, and the Moor Ends, which I will be speaking to the relevant people from those clubs shortly for best date for us to come down to their clubs. So there's plenty in the pipeline to go at. But I've been over the moon with the response of the people, and we've been the talk of the town. There's people around saying they're talking about us at their work and things like that. Now I'm not trying to oversell this or over egg it. It's exactly what people are saying. You go into the gym or you go into the supermarket and say, what are you doing next year? What's happening with the Dons? They don't fully know, but they're still talking about us, and people are saying they're getting asked in work, and to be fair, the fans are pushing it out there for us as well, which we're grateful for. So we've got a meter on the website. Just keep checking that every week, and hopefully it'll go up and up and up, and then we can keep pushing.
because that's what we want, isn't it? We want to sell tickets to as many fans as we can. We want them to be a part of it next year and create a real family atmosphere at the Keep now.
Yeah, and that's it. We want the atmosphere. The big thing is the atmosphere, and the only way to get that is getting some bums on seats. And you know, the kids coming free is huge, and you know, they'll create some noise themselves. That once we get a few of the players going out and they get to know who the players are and all that sort of stuff. So it's positive. There's even other clubs talking about us, about what we're doing, and you know, there's the odd they'll go bust. You can't do it. They'll go bust. Well, we've got a season ticket budget. We know what the target we have to hit, and just after what these we've sold, we're not a million miles away from that. So I don't see how we can go bust if we hit the number. But you know, it's like chicken and egg, and if you're going to sell 500 at 100 quid, well, there's your budget. And if you're going to sell 1,000 at 25 quid, well, there's your budget again. So we're trying to get people in. So there's nothing about, you know, oh, how can they do it? How can they do it? We can do it because we can do it, and that's the thing. It's not something that's really going to make me freak out and say, oh, if we don't do it, we're in trouble. That won't be the case either, because people have to come and turn up on the day and pay 15 quid, so we're laughing. So there's no problem there.
Finally then, the World Cup gets underway this week on Friday. England, Australia in the first game. You couldn't get much bigger than that, could you, for the first game? And England, I think, after us, I think if they can get a decent result against Australia, it sort of sets the benchmark for the rest of the World Cup, doesn't it? Because that's going to be the biggest test for anyone in the competition.
Well, what's a decent result?
A win.
Well, it's not going to happen, is it?
Where do you see England maybe either going all the way in the competition or coming up short? Where do you feel that the key areas are going to be for them in this competition?
This is going to go out after, I suppose, that they've played, but they normally have a good go against Aussie in the first round. But the only reason I say it's not going to happen is because it's the last time Billy Slater, Cameron Smith and Cooper Cronk's going to play in Melbourne together, and if those three are on fire, you're in trouble. As the NRL found out, you know, they win everything, and they're the key. And with it being there's an occasion for them now to win it, whereas we sort of sometimes try and can catch them off guard, and I'm saying we, England. England normally catch them off guard and they'll get them, and then Aussie normally get them back in the final or something like that. I think they'll do it right. I think they will, and I hope they do. You know, I'll say it on here. I hope it's an England and New Zealand final. I don't care. I'm not worried about the Aussies. So, that, you know, if that's the case, we'll all be happy. But the New Zealand team, I think I've already said it, that don't underestimate, because you don't know the names of those players. They'll step up and they'll be unknown, but they'll have a go and they'll be good. I predict they'll be good. And the Aussies are obviously going to be massive favourites, but I'll tell you all here now, just go for a New Zealand-England final. That'll do. How
good is it from a Don's point of view to see Luke Gale on the international stage? He's finally getting a crack at it, isn't he, after a brilliant season at Castleford, Man of Steel winner as well. From a Don's point of view, you've worked with him before. How much will he relish this opportunity and handle the pressure on his shoulders?
Like anything, the more Luke plays for England, the better he'll be. You know, it's when he played for the Dons, he was a standout player. He went to Super League, Harlequins, learner's trade there, and then he got to Castleford and played. I think he went to Bradford after that, but then when he got to Cass, he's an established Super League player now, so he's that confident he'd just take the Super League over. Hence the reason he's Man of Steel. That's Gale. He's a very, very confident young man. The more he plays for England, I can see him dominating the international scene. That's just him. It's in him to do that. So if he keeps playing, and England did get to the final, Gale will be the one to say, right, I'm the man. I want to be the man, and he'll go and get man of the match, and that's how he is. He's a very, very good player, very talented. People say he's not that quick. He's very quick. Trust me. He might not look it, but you look at the end of most of the tries, he's on the end of them that he scored this year. Now, if he's not very quick, how's he keeping up with wingers and all that on the inside, or actually having to get there and they're passing into him. So very talented player, but and the reason he's where he is because he works really, really hard and he's very, very dedicated.